Where is the line between hate speech and free speech? Actually, there is no line.
Personally, my For You, I would see I get more of that kind of content, yeah, personally. But I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
So you see more hate speech personally?
I would say I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
He might be right. Hate speech is not a legal term. There is no universal accepted definition of hate speech. The United Nations Strategy and Plan of Action of Hate Speech defines the term hate speech as any form of communication in speech, writing, or behavior that attacks or uses pejorative or discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group on the basis of who they are, in other words, based on religion, ethnicity, nationality, race, color, descent, gender, and any other identity factor. Now, talking about the history, in the 40s and 50s, American civil rights groups, in response to the atrocities of the Second World War, began advocating for limitations and restrictions on hate speech, which targeted groups based on race and religion. In the context of international legal proceedings addressing cases related to genocide and crimes against humanity, might represent the next frontier within social media jurisprudence, leveraging lessons from the legal frameworks established in Nuremberg and in Rwanda. During the Nuremberg trials in Germany following the Nazi era, the publisher of a newspaper was convicted. This led to the 1948 Genocide Convention incorporating the act of direct and public incitement to commit genocide as a criminal offense. As well, throughout the proceedings of the UN International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, 3 media executives were convicted based on similar grounds. In 2023, the European Union Agency for Fundamental Rights commissioned a study that developed a typology categorizing database on the hateful nature of post content. The study identified and classified the main categories of online hate: incitement to violence, discrimination or hatred, denigration, offensive language, and negative stereotyping. But how can we detect online hate? The European Union has revised its laws and enacted measures like the Digital Service Act to enhance the regulation of online content, particularly addressing issues such as illegal content and hate speech. And about the purpose of governance tools for online hate speech. New governance tools are being proposed and developed, often through collaborative efforts involving national governments, intergovernmental organizations such as the Council of Europe and the European Commission, internet platforms, and civil society organizations. Governance of online hate speech can occur in the following levels: the moderation level, the oversight, and regulatory level. The moderation level deals with content considered unacceptable according to the community standards or content policies of internet platforms. Nevertheless, this content can be legal or illegal. At the oversight level, scrutiny is applied not only to content moderation decisions, but also to the content moderation policies, guidelines, processes, and procedures set by the internet platforms. The regulatory level usually involves the participation of national governments or governmental agencies in overseeing internet governance. So what businesses can do? Legal compliance teams of internet platforms should take more proactive measures to identify illegal or unlawful hate speech content, which can include closer monitoring with the support of AI or algorithms that help them to identify hate speech. As well, legal compliance teams are advised to provide programmers with sample court decisions from the relevant countries. These examples could encompass cases where local hate speech laws have been applied by the courts to a specific content. And finally, implementing suggestions from organizations, such as the Rabat Plan, That is a UN action that offers guidance to states distinguishing between freedom of expression and the criminal prohibition of incitement to discrimination, hostility, and violence.